This is Brandon Hayes, host of the Warcraft Recon Report, and today I'm submitting suggestions to improve archaeology. Now that's an incredibly easy thing to accomplish. This secondary profession has never been any fun, and was essentially created for the sole purpose of being a massive time sink. So giving it any sort of update would be a vast improvement. The following is a list of 9 things I'd do to improve archaeology in Warlords of Draenor. Number 1. Work orders. Okay, so as it is right now, when you piece together pristine artifacts that get displayed in your garrison town hall, that's nice, I suppose. I would have preferred a garrison museum, but what's done is done. So after you collect and display 5 different pristine artifacts, an NPC should appear in your town hall. He's a retired museum curator. Let's just call him Marcus Brody. Marcus is highly impressed with your collection of rare objects. Being retired, he has nothing but free time on his hands, and having worked in a museum, he's quite knowledgeable with the subject of archaeology itself. Marcus offers to help you increase your collection of artifacts by accepting work orders, busting up your Dranic stones in search of hidden archaeology fragments. If your garrison has a level 3 mine, you can easily gather more Dranic stones than you can spend. It's a shame to vendor them, and Blizzard has already sort of established the idea that these stones can contain artifact fragments, because you sometimes extract these fragments from mining carts. Number 2. Missions. Follower missions offer a wide variety of rewards, like follower experience, player experience, gold, resources, gear, and so on. These missions have different classifications, like rare, treasure, patrol. How about introducing a brand new branch of missions? Excavation. An excavation mission could send followers on a quest to gather archaeology fragments. Maybe they could also find lost crates of archaeology supplies, which could contain teleportation lodestones, randomization maps, or even transmog gear, so I can dress my character like Indiana Jones. Number 3. Better rewards. There are only a small handful of archaeology rewards in Warlords of Draenor, and they're not all that fantastic. You get 4 pieces of gear and 2 battle pets. Wow, that really motivates me to rush to those dig sites. Now, I have a feeling, and this is just pure speculation on my part, but I think that Blizzard made the rewards lame on purpose. Archaeology, in its current state, is one of the few things that truly suffers from a flightless world. It becomes twice a chore and therefore twice as boring. So if archaeology gave away cool items in this expansion, players would feel a need to engage in archaeology, which would inevitably result in even more people begging to have flight enabled. Perhaps Blizzard just made archaeology suck even harder in this expansion to avoid any unnecessary headaches. Or maybe they were simply in a rush and couldn't design any cool rewards. Either way, this secondary profession is in a serious slump, and at the very least they could offer us some unique mounts or exclusive transmog gear. Number 4. Dig site selection. When Mists of Pandaria launched, there were only 2 types of artifacts to dig for, Pandaren and Mogu. In patch 5.2, a 3rd type of artifact was introduced, Mantid. Because it was such a late addition, Blizzard added an item to the game called a Sonic Locator, which made all your dig sites Mantid dig sites for a full day. Giving players control over what dig sites appeared was incredibly beneficial, but this simple convenience was never instituted for any other artifact type beyond Mantid. I think it's time Blizzard gives us more power to fight against the evils of the random number generator. Let us buy Sonic Locators for all types of artifact fragments. Even if they can only be used once a day and only last for an hour or 2, that would certainly be better than nothing. Number 5. Better survey tools. When you first unlock the option to battle pets in Warcraft, your account starts with a real crappy pet trap. Over time, as you progress in the game and you capture more pets and level them up, your trap gets an upgrade. It would be nice if your survey tool for archaeology could also get upgrades as you progress. Or maybe just give players the option to find mechanical pieces to a superior tool in Draenor dig sites. Let's say you need to gather 50 pieces to build this tool. Once assembled, the tool could point out coordinates instead of forcing you to struggle with the current hot and cold system. Number 6. Ghostbusting. Sometimes when digging at a dig site, an enemy will pop out of the ground to attack you. Usually it's a ghost who's upset because you're desecrating their gravesite or whatever. It might be fun to introduce a device to the game that you can drill into the ground, shaking the earth or electrifying it, doing something that disrupts the peaceful sleep of long since dead people. Once they rush at you, you've got to bust them down, all at once. The enemies could be much more difficult than your average mobs, but reward you with double the artifact fragments that you would have received if you simply dug them up the old-fashioned way. And just to keep this from becoming the default way to gather fragments at dig sites, you could put a long cooldown on this ability, like 2 or 3 hours. Number 7. Black Market Integration. The Black Market Auction House doesn't really do much of anything. There are usually only 2 or 3 items for sale at a time, and they're only relevant to players who have the deepest of pockets. But the idea of a black market auction house is cool, and it can definitely be expanded upon. How about we integrate the BMAH with Archaeology? Your friend and curator, Marcus Brody, could accept carefully packaged artifacts in exchange for reputation points. But selling them to a shady character at the black market auction house instead could give you much, much bigger rewards. Well, hello there, stranger. My name is, well, you can just call me Opportunity. I'm always looking for rare artifacts. They sell quite well to private collectors. If you're willing to part with said possessions, I'll pay you for them. 1 iron coin apiece. There are plenty of things to be bought at this marketplace with iron coins, things you can't acquire anywhere else. Number 8. Puzzles. The biggest thing missing from the archaeology/treasure hunting motif is puzzle solving, and I'm not sure why. Adding it could be as simple as finding mysterious lockboxes at dig sites, and then having to spin the lock tumblers in a certain way in order to actually open the boxes. Or Blizzard could go all out and design scenarios that are only accessible to players who have maxed out their archaeology skills. And these scenarios could be chock full of puzzles, ones that scramble themselves randomly upon every new visit. One week, Marcus Brody sends you into a puzzle scenario to explore the Temple of the Golden Suns. And we're currently in the past thanks to time travel, so Scrooge McDuck hasn't completely melted the place yet. Or, even better, one week Marcus sends you into the much-beloved, never-released Karazhan Crypts. Some players would grind up their archaeology skill just for the opportunity to step inside this place. And once you're in there, you have to solve puzzles to escape, or wind up just another corpse in the upside-down sinner's pool. Number 9. Harrison Jones. Finally, the biggest no-brainer of them all, guaranteed to be the most popular addition to archaeology if implemented, turning Harrison Jones into a legendary follower. This indie clone is one of the most recognizable characters in the entire World of Warcraft, and although he's a bit goofy and more comedic than heroic, he'd be a much welcomed addition to any player's garrison roster. Oh, and of course, in order to be truly legendary, he'd need to have the bodyguard trait, so he could accompany us on our adventures. Well, that's it for today. If you have any suggestions on how to help improve archaeology, or any other aspect of the game, please leave them in the comments section below. If I get enough participation, I'll eventually be able to make a video where I discuss my thoughts on your suggestions. Also, if you like this video, please check out our other content and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.